it's Rick. How you doing? I'm gonna do a folk art painting on this board. I got this at Michael's. I told you in some other videos I work at Michael's, and on you got to go on this aisle. It's called the clearance aisle, and you can pick up stuff like this. We're gonna do a folk landscape on a board. I had to primer this. I have another video on how I primered this. But this is what it looks like. It had different panels of wood on it, and it already comes with something to hang, and it's 18 inches wide. So I picked up 3 of them because I got a show coming up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I wanted to have a couple, 3 of these to sell. So I think what I want to do, I'm going to use this line in the middle as the horizon. I'm going to lay it out with some burnt umber real quick because I want this to be an easy one for anybody to do. So what I'm picturing is a lot of green because I have a dark green, light green, and a really light green. And I want to have it get light, darker, and darker as it comes forward. But I'm seeing like a hill back here that's going to be green, but my mountain is going to be kind of over here, right? We'll put a mountain over here. Maybe a gray, one way back here too, in gray that looks further back. But I want to have the landscape coming down like this, and maybe a hill coming down like this, and then another hill here in green, and then even another one darker here. So we'll have a green, 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 and get really dark here. And this is where I'll run a main tree from this here, and we'll put some cool clouds up there. How I mix my blue, it's kind of cool. I took ultramarine blue. I put a little alizarin crimson in it to get almost like some purple in it. And then I just mixed it down with white to get the color of the sky I want. So for this painting, I'm going to use a number 10 filbert brush, probably for the whole thing. So I got water in my can over here, so let's get started. I'll try and show you how I grab the paint. So I got a wet brush here. This is a folk art painting, so this is something anybody could do, okay, once you get this layout in. This is on a wooden board, and I had to primer it, so it's going to come out pretty good. We'll put a blue sky up here. Wet your brush a little. Grab some paint. This is acrylic paint, okay? You could get this at Michael's. And I'm just using colors you see in nature, okay? Blue, green, gray, brown. Just colors that you see out in nature. White clouds. And why I'm saying it's a folk painting is because this is something maybe a person that lives on a farm would do, you know. It's just going to be a really simple painting, okay, with just basic colors. I'm going to try and make it look folky, like almost like something a kid would do, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and try and get close to my mountains right now, but I'm probably going to make the mountains a little bigger so I don't have to try and paint right next to the mountains like this. So I'll just make those a little bigger. Okay. All right, there's our sky. I'm not going to lighten it up down here because I'm going to have some clouds down here. So my mountain, I'm going to mix some of this is Payne's Gray, okay? If you don't have Payne's Gray, you could use black. Just put a little here, grab a little white, and let's mix some white into that Payne's Gray. And I'm going to do this far mountain first that's way in the distance here. It's going to look like a mountain way back there. Now this one I'm going to do darker with Payne's Gray. The Payne's Gray right out of the tube, so it's going to be darker. I'm going to cover up to my blue now because I know I can see what I need to cover. Just make the peaks a little taller, that's all. Let's paint this mountain in dark. We'll have like 4 peaks on it. I'm going to do it very simple. This is just like, just pretend like you're getting the color down first, okay? This is, I call it the underpaint, okay? We're just getting the primary colors down. Now here at the bottom of the mountain, instead of filling this in with dark, grab a little titanium white on your brush. Don't even wipe your brush off, and let's make it a little lighter down at the base of the mountain. Just mix it with that gray a little bit and bring it down to the base of the mountain there. There we go. That looks good. All right, so we got our mountains. They're not done yet because I'm going to put snow up here and stuff. Clouds. We got a lot to do yet. So I'm going to finish up all this underpaint now. So this is furthest away. I want to make this the lightest. So I'm going to get some, I'm going to rinse my brush off. And we're just going to fill in this area with the lightest green that you have, okay? I took a regular green color, mixed black in it, I mixed yellow in this one, and I mixed white in this one, the same green. Alright, so let's put, we're going to have green grass underneath our mountains here. We're going to make them, try and make them look like hills here in a second, but let's just, this is the underpaint, let's just get the color down. If you've ever seen folk art before, this is folk art right here. They would just pretty much just paint the colors in and leave it, okay? Now here, let's get, use the light green just back here under the mountain, just like this. Now let's grab the second darker green and put it down here. So we'll have a little light back there, then it gets darker when it comes across this other green. So this is the second green that's lighter than that one, or darker than that one. So you can actually see the difference here. Let's fill this section in. Right here, I'm just thinking right now. I'm just thinking because I only got one more green left. What if we made this water right now? We could make that a river. Let's do that. Let's take the blue from the sky now. But I want to put a little Payne's Gray in it because I want it darker than that. So the blue we used up in the sky, got to rinse our brush off. And then we'll put this dark green down here. We'll make this a river. See how things can change? Take a little bit of Payne's Gray and add it to this blue. that you used in the sky. Just a little to darken it up. And now we're going to put a river in here, okay? Small over here, and it widens out down here. Wow. See how things can change when you're painting? But folk art. Like I said, if this was folk art, we'd almost be done. We'd put a few clouds up there, a few trees, and that would be it. So let's make this dark green now. I got this is the green. I put black in it. Okay, just a little black, but it's green. Let's put a green hill here. This is where I'm gonna. This is the foreground, so I'm gonna have a tree coming up over here off the side. If you just joined in, I'm trying to do a folk art painting on an oval piece of wood. So I put a light green here, darker green. This is my darkest green. And now we got a river. Okay, good. So let's put some, I'll grab a smaller filbert brush now and put some light on our mountain. I'm going to put my palette down. It's starting to get heavy in my hand. So let's imagine our sun is over here on the left, and it's just hitting this side of the mountain, okay? So how we do that, I want to keep it simple because it's folk art. Let's do this one way over here first. I'm going to grab just a little titanium white, and if you imagine the light hitting on this side of the mountain here, let's just put a little white right there and you'll see what I mean. And then this side would be the shady side. So you can wherever you put this white is gonna signify where the light's hitting. So what I'm gonna do is just put a little white on each peak just to get started. Okay, just at the top and pull it down a little. And then what I do is I'll stand back and look at it and kind of see if I want any more light, like in here. I kind of like how this one looks. See how it's kind of jagged? Because I extended the white at the bottom like this. So we can add some more white in here now, like this. Because we got a lot of mountain on this side here. So we need more light. Just pretend this is the light hitting. You can see it's starting to take shape now that this is the shady side. Do it slow like I'm doing and stand back and look at it, because that's all you really need. You don't need too much. Doing the snow on the mountain, it takes a little practice to get used to doing this. That's why I say just do a little at a time. Do the top part of it like this, the tops, and then stand back and look at it. And then see how this is coming up here now? And we created a higher part of the mountain in here with the white. Okay, let's let that set for a while. Let's do some clouds. Let's use the same brush. Since our action is kind of coming down this way with the water, I'm going to try and make the clouds go up this way. So I'll have a cloud starting here, go behind this mountain, and then maybe up here and then one here going up this way. So the painting kind of has a little bit of structure. Let's just take a brush and let's just stamp in some color behind your mountain here. This will be a cloud behind the mountain, and then we're going to do the top part of the mountain first. Just stamp in white all the way to the side and make this look like the top of the cloud. Okay, just stamp it in. This is a filbert brush, and then we're going to lower it down just a little. Make the cloud a little bigger by just stamping in more color. And we want this side over here the biggest, so I'm going to bring it down a little more, maybe give it some shape over here. Just keep stamping the color in to shape the cloud. Really simple, okay? Now I want this cloud to be blowing from this way, so take your brush now and at the very bottom just pull it to the right. Just at the very bottom. Okay, just like that. It'll make it look like it's blowing. Alright, there's one cloud. Now the next cloud we're going to bring from here up into this one. Same way, let's start it here and just concentrate on the top part of the cloud first. Titanium white. We'll bring it right up into that cloud there. This is just the top part of the cloud. Let's make it bigger over here again. Same thing. Now let's take your brush at the bottom and pull it to the right, just at the bottom. Make it look like it's blowing. Very good. Looks like some good folk art clouds there, doesn't it? That's pretty good. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see better. So I'm not in the picture as much. There we go. I had trouble the other day. I hope the mic is working. So there, I zoomed in so you can see a little better. Let's put a little small cloud down here now. Really small. Same principle, but really small. Just pull the bottom one way. Clouds are easy to do with acrylic paint because in a little bit I'm going to put some shadows in the clouds, but doesn't that look good so far? Really easy. I don't even think I'm going to put any shading on the sides of my mountains because I like it. I like the way it looks so far. Alright, let's put some trees on these hills now. Let me see where I'm at time. At 20 minutes. All right, we got time. So I want to line some trees back here on this green grass and some trees on this back hill. Let's do this one first. I'm going to use this filbert brush. I'm using the green I made with the black. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to just bring the trees about maybe halfway. So all I'm going to do is put some color up here on top of the green, just like this, dark color. And with your brush, I'm just going to pull up just a little at the top, just to make those look like they're far away trees. Okay, take your brush and pull a little of the color to the right, Just like that. These trees are way in the distance, okay? I'm trying to make this look like a folk art thing. I know that doesn't, I don't think someone would paint it like that, folk art, but that's how I'm going to do it because I want it to look good as well. Look like folk art. So I'm going to have a big tree over here. So I'm just going to run some trees from here down to about here. Same thing, I'm just going to run some dark color on top of that green, bring it down, and then I'm going to pull up at the top to make it look like tree tops. Just very loosely pull up. So if you're just joining in, I found this board at Michael's, and I gessoed it. So I got a show coming up Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So I got 3 of these. I'm trying to get ready for the show to sell. That's what I like about acrylic. I used to do everything in oil, but oil paint, you got to wait like 2 weeks before you can sell the painting. This thing will be dried. If I wanted to sell this tonight, I could. It would be dried already, you know. That's what's good about acrylic paint. Uh, so I'm going to make this one really simple. So I'm gonna line this part of the river here now with some shrubs. The same way, just gonna put some color down here, dark color, and just pull up some bushes, different heights, just like that. Really simple. Maybe get bigger over here or over here. Just make them different heights. When I first started the painting, I was going to make this all grass, but I decided to throw a river in there. So there's some bushes there. I'm going to put some bushes right down here and then throw a tree over here. So what I'm going to do is have a bush kind of up in here in the water. Come in to the left here, maybe going up a little. And let's pull that color to the left. I'll have to use a lighter color. So I'm going to have some bushes there. Let me use a lighter green right now. And our light's coming from the left. Maybe I can just highlight the edge of them. I'm getting some bad light in here. Yeah, we use some light green down here. I can't even see. I'm getting a glare for some reason. I'm getting a glare. got some brown here to put underneath the bushes for dirt. I'm just trying to do this like a folk art painting. Why am I getting a glare? Where's it coming from? Let me see if it's showing up in the... Yeah, getting a glare down here. Okay, so let's concentrate on... let's put a tree in real quick, because I'm not going to go too much longer, because it takes a while to upload it. So I left this open here for a tree. I'm going to put an evergreen tree right in here with the big filbert brush, number 10. So what I'm going to do is stamp in a trunk here, pull it down to here, and I'm going to do it kind of like I do with the fan brush, but I'm using the corner of my filbert brush. I'm going to put the leaves on like that, and then I'll highlight it. Now rinse your brush off, and I'm going to use light blue here that I used in the sky, a little bit of white, and I'm going to highlight some of this tree, just some of the top of the branches, okay, so you can actually see the branches. Getting a spot on my brush there, just like that, a little light in there. Try not to cover all your dark up. Getting a glare in there, it's driving me nuts. Alright, so now I'm going to use this white and highlight these bushes down here. Where I think the light's hitting some of these tops here. It's like that. That's weird. I never got a glare like that before. Maybe if I lean the painting out a little bit, or the board. It's a little better. I'm thinking if I lean it out, get rid of that glare. Alright, so there's a tree. Easy tree there. I want to keep this simple, so I'm just going to run some more bushes along here on my water with the dark green. I'll start up here and then get smaller to the end here. Just fill it in with that dark green down to your water. Bush tops. Alright, very good. Let's see how it's looking. Not bad. Looks pretty good. I'm going to just highlight these bushes for you, and then I'm going to end it. It's already at 30 minutes, so I'm going to put a lot of bushes in here with the highlights so you can see. There's different ways to highlight your bushes. You got to get used to highlighting, so It's pretty fun once you get the hang of it. And I'll highlight these a little bit. Just on the left side, because our light's coming from over here, okay? And that's how you highlight. Alright guys, I'm going to end this live here. Got to put a bird up here though. Couple birds flying in the scene there. This was, I was trying to do a folk art painting on a board. I'm still going to work it a little more. I'm going to put some dark color in my greens here to make some shadows. Work this ground down here a little more. I'm going to put, you know, some I'm going to put twigs in there, so there's a lot to do. I'm going to fix this tree up a little bit, make it come out a little better. But there we go. Let me give you a front shot on it. And came out pretty good for a piece of board and acrylic paint. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video. Cheers.